come from decent jobs. We've got to work very hard. It's our really preoccupation is that this sixth administration legacy must be about a serious implementation of the radical socio-economic transformation. That must actually give an economy that is inclusive, an economy that benefits our people at large. So we've got to do that. Already work is being done in reviving the industrial parks. National departments are already on board. The challenge will be with the provincial government and the local government space, in this case municipalities, to get investors in those industrial parks, for those investors to create jobs. The responsibility of government is to create conducive environment to ensure that investors come. We are going to work very hard to really transform our system there. You come across investors complaining about how many months, how many years they have spent just looking for a piece of land in the municipalities to invest. We've got to look at that, our turnaround time, and push people beyond their comfort zones, because it's about the multitudes of our people. Our people are looking for those jobs. The issue of government spending on the infrastructure, the social infrastructure rollout plan is going to be quite critical to make it a point that areas of our interest where we will be looking at in terms of creating jobs, diversifying our economy, as we've been saying, from the over-reliance on automotive sector, exploring the tourism niche, looking at your film industry or the creative industry, looking at your agriculture, looking at oceans economy, also driving our key catalytic projects that have been spoken about over the last 10 years, which we believe that if we do them perfectly, we will be able to turn around the face of this province. This team will definitely be about that in ensuring that we change people's lives. We've got immediate challenges, the issues of social cohesion, the service delivery protest action is fire all over. We have seen during elections. You don't have to push our people to that for what is due to them. They don't necessarily need to do all what we have been actually observing that people are doing. The problems of the gangsters in northern areas in Nelson Mandela, the parade that we've seen, the level of anarchy that is out there, that really reduce our country into a kind of a banana republic. It can't be. We are not a lawless state. I think a state as a state must work together and be quite strong and emphatic in fighting crime and corruption. So that level was really worrying, that you see people demonstrating what you can see as a kind of a high level of anarchy and cult. So we're going to deal with those issues. Those are immediate, working with national government, strengthening the coordination and the integration. It is going to be what preoccupies us. Already national is setting aside a lot of opportunities to be explored. If you look at the stimulus package, already provinces are invited to submit for key projects, not less than R1 billion rand for the next financial year. We are going to be working on those issues, building on what we have already done as well in the province in terms of our stimulus package. So this team that we have assembled is a team of fairly experienced comrades that have been there. Some might be new in EXCO, but they've been within the governance or government, others from the local government sphere with the wealth of experience there. Today is my anniversary. I'm finishing a year today as an MEC. So I only had 1 year as an MEC. So I can tell you, you don't actually buy experience anywhere. Experience is about dedication, is about commitment, is about willingness to go an extra mile, is about potential. We need that potential. We need that potential to come out there and get our people supporting. It's a team that is going to be supported by the movement as a governing party, as we have consulted almost all our allies. It's a team that is well received, which we believe that it is going to really push us to another level. I've explained to them that in deployment, there is one thing that we are certain about. We can start together, but we might not finish together. So if you are given an opportunity now, make use of that opportunity, not to profile you, but to work for our people so that our people can remember you down the line. So we are not about the self-aggrandizement, you see, self-profiling. We are about movement of our people, that our people have actually given a thumbs up to continue changing their lives. So with all the commitments that I've spoken about and challenges in the municipality areas, it's an area that it's really, really a threat, I must say now. It's almost a kind of a time bomb, if I may put it like that. Our state of municipalities, it's worrying. Every day you come across problems in Grahamstown. NGO of unemployed is taking government to court. Now this ESCO today must sit immediately and take a decision around that so that we defend. We're doing some work in Grahamstown. There's some fundamental work that is being done through the collaboration of all spheres of government to address the challenges that are there. You have challenges elsewhere in Amahlati, workers not getting their salaries, not for the first time in this. A bit of a worrying trend that is happening in those municipalities. So we've taken a decision that we're not going to be now bystanders and watch. We're going to respect the law, how spheres of government are arranged, but we are going to deal decisively with the issue of mediocre and non-performance. Some of these issues are as a result of sheer negligence, ignorance. So if you have got someone called the executive mayor must understand what does it mean to be an executive mayor. If you have got someone called an executing authority, in this case an MEC, that person must understand that you are not a ceremonial head. The kind of a huge backlog that we have, if you look at from the Auditor General's assessment, it's not a good one. We've got to turn around that if you want to deal decisively with the trust deficit that our government has been kind of experiencing in the recent past. The following the members have been actually selected and appointed. If you appoint someone, you can as well disappoint. So it's important that you keep your shape right so that you've got that appointment and you appreciate that appointment by not any other unnecessary alignment, by simply working very hard to ensure that your presence is also much appreciated. The first MEC, not necessarily in the order of seniority or preference, will be the MEC for finance, the economic development, environmental affairs, and tourism. It's not because I'm from there, but but that will be MEC Mlungisi Mvoko, who is moved from education. He was in education, now is going to that ministry. That is a ministry that is heading those two independent departments. The second one will be the COCTA, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. There we will be having MEC Xolile Ngata. Comrade Xolile Ngata is actually moved from Dr. Da, the Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform, now to go there that's exactly what I've said before. We need a bit of a punching there in that department, get things right, done right. So far, we are almost in a very precarious balance in that situation. We've got to get that department proper, focused, and really tackling issues as issues come. And then the third one will be Dr. Da, that is Rural Development and Agrarian Reform. It will be Ms. Noma Kosazana Meth, the now former executive mayor of OR Tambo District Municipality. She's now joining the provincial government sphere as an MEC for Dr. Da. And the following one will be Public Works. Mr. Babalo Madigizela is moved from human settlement into Public Works to deal with the issues and get ourselves moving from that front. The following one is Education, MEC, Fundile Gade. A man is called Blacks. He has been a chief whip in this the previous term of the ANC, former chairperson of SATU in the province at some point. So he will be now taking over Department of Education. I see HOD, SGU here. So now we have a boss. I've been enjoying myself to be a boss of every department for almost a week. Now I'm going to be relieved. Department of Human Settlement will be Ms. Nonkubela Peters, the former speaker of Sarapatman District Municipality, who is also a provincial treasurer of the Women's League in the province of the Eastern Cape. Department of Transport, Safety and Liaising will be Ms. Weziwe Tikana. She has been there, it's a continuity. Department of Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture will be Ms. Fezeka Nkomonye Bayeni. She has been in the legislature for some time. And then we've got younger now. Both Fezeka Nkomonye represented that youth generational mix category. But the second one, who was really young, still less than 35, will be Miss Ispoga Zimani Luciti. She comes in there for social development. So that's a team of 10 with six MECs from a female. Or I've jumped health. Health will be Miss Cindy Swagomba from Buffalo City. So we have got 6 female in compliance with the National Executive Committee decision of a governing party. And then we've got 5 males, 4 MECs plus 1 premier, who has got no deputy. So to make it 5. So it's Omama Bayakobapa. So to the people of our province, these are men and these are women and men who will work with you to grow the province. I congratulate all the MECs for their appointment into the Executive Council. This is not just a job. This is a responsibility to serve, as I've indicated, the people of our province. Serve them with the diligence and humility. So that's what we want. We have been humbled by this gesture of our people to take us back. I have a sense that this was a kind of a narrow escape. If we just play with this 6th administration, this old liberation movement might find it very difficult to convince voters moving forward. We've got to turn around things. Thank you very much. That's a long and brief of this, surely facilitated by Mr. Stwesha. I will take the couple of questions. At least those who were part of the first briefing after the swearing in, you don't repeat the questions that we have answered. Now,
All right, well, there you have it. That's the Eastern Cape Premier, Oscar Mabuyane, announcing the Provincial Executive Council. Of course, those are your MECs, and really the Premier emphasizing the issue of gender parity, saying that he's appointed 6 female MECs, 4 male MECs, of course, and himself. And, of course, also looking into the issue of bringing some young blood into the Executive Council, of course, addressing the issue of generational mix. Our reporter, Bosisiwe Jemsana Mantashe, is there. In a short while, we'll touch base with her for the latest regarding that newly appointed Provincial Executive Council in the Eastern Cape. Moving along now, ANC Deputy President David Mabuza will be sworn in as a Member of Parliament today. Last week, Mabuza requested his swearing in to be postponed in order to give him time to respond to the ANC's Integrity Commission report. The swearing-in ceremony will be conducted by Chief Justice Mogoeng at the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House in Pretoria at 4 p.m. today. All right.